Hey there, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. Happy Tuesday. The market's kind of up, the market's kind of down. A moment ago, as I was preparing the recording, we were up 0.5%. We're now down 0.5%. That's kind of the way things are going. It's still choppy. It's still volatile. That is despite the fact that we've just received some incredible news out of India specifically. This so-called ban that was at the heart of so much FUD that we've been hearing about. We heard a lot of FUD, of course, out of India as well as out of China. Both of those news stories were illegitimate, in my opinion. Lazy journalism, sensationalism, a lot of unnecessary FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt. Basically, one of those stories, at least the India story, has just about been invalidated now with a memo sent out from the country's central bank. We'll be discussing that. We'll be discussing news out of Chainlink and news out of THETA as well, which has enjoyed a little bit of a pump recently. In fact, if we take a look at the main gainers in these last 24 hours, WazirX is at number 1. So we have fewer massive gainers today. WazirX, ticker WRX, up 46.4%. THETA Network in second place, in a distant second place, but still up 14% on some pretty good news that we're going to be covering in the second half of this video. We're also still giving away $50 worth of ETH. We're doing that for another week or so. $50 worth of Ethereum. Stay tuned to the end of this video to see if you are the lucky winner. Guys, if you like this kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe to Altcoin Buzz News. All right, a little bit of optimism here before we get into the main stories today. We have Plan B at 100 trillion USD. I was talking yesterday about how Plan B has still been assuring us that, look, whether we go down 30, 40, 50%, whether we go up 30, 40, 50%, when you zoom out, you have to realize that the trend is still intact, the stock to flow trajectory. That's what he's talking about here. We have a new dot now that May has closed. It's hard to believe that we're already June 1st today. So the May dot is in, and the May close was $37,000, approximately, a little bit over that for Bitcoin, minus 35%, in other words, for May 2021. We knew Bitcoin would not go up in a straight line, and several negative 35% drops are always possible and indeed likely in a bull market. It's starting to look like 2013. So many comparisons were between where we are now in 2017. It's actually starting to look more like 2013. S2F, stock to flow model, intact. In other words, don't worry about it. And now, kind of in addition to that information, which was sort of the deep, maybe you have to dig a little bit deeper, but those that are in the space, those that have been around for a market cycle or two, realize that, look, it's not fun to lose 35%, but no, it doesn't change anything. And yeah, of course, stock to flow is still intact. Here's an interesting observation. The whale who dumped thousands of Bitcoin at the near perfect top has also been buying the last weeks, and more information is available there using the link that's provided. If you want to investigate that, you can do a little bit of digital forensics if you're lucky. That's very interesting. The pattern of smart money, understanding the local tops, selling off, and buying the dip, buying the red. That's what the whales do. That's what the smart money does. Let's move on to, so with that little bit of assurance out of the way, I just wanted to, again, start with some optimism, start with some positivity. More positivity now in the form of this story that is breaking. Altcoin Buzz IO on Twitter tweeting about this. Breaking. Did the Reserve Bank of India issue one tight slap to the Indian banks, basically asking the banks to not use the cryptocurrency circular that was issued to caution users anymore as it's invalid? This is massive. So a little bit of a wordy tweet there, but what we're effectively saying is that previously there was a memo that the banks issued, that the commercial banks issued in India. And they said, it's best to avoid cryptocurrency. It's murky, it's nebulous, it's used by various criminal syndicates, all the regular FUD, right? And now you have the central bank, the Central Reserve Bank of India, that's coming out and saying, hey, disregard that previous memo, the previous FUD that was sent around. Let's read from it directly because it's not that long. This is from the 31st of May. All commercial and cooperative banks, payments banks, small finance banks, NBFCs, and payment system providers. Madam, dear sir, customer due diligence for transactions in virtual currencies. It has come to our attention through media reports that certain banks and regulated entities have cautioned their customers against dealing in virtual currencies by making a reference to the RBI circular, yada, 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 dated April 6, 2018, going back 3 years. Such references to the above circular by banks and regulated entities are not in order. Are not in order, as this circular was set aside by the Honorable Supreme Court on the 4th of March 2020 in the matter of writ petition civil number 528 2018, Internet and Mobile Association of India versus Bank of India versus Reserve Bank rather of India. As such, in view of the order of the Honorable Supreme Court, the circular is no longer valid from the start date of the Supreme Court judgment and therefore cannot be cited or quoted from. So this totally invalidates the previous FUD that has really been carrying itself now for multiple years through the extent. Think about the extended bear market that we had in 2018, 2019, only really started to turn around in 2020. This was a main component of the fuel that was driving that bear market. And now, again, you have the Reserve Bank of India, specifically the Chief General Manager, Shri Mohan Yadav, that's coming out and saying, look, disregard that. It's not applicable. You don't have to worry about it. Continuing, number 2, banks, as well as other entities addressed above, may, however, continue to carry out customer due diligence processes in line with regulations, governing standards for Know Your Customer, KYC, anti-money laundering, AML, combating financing of terrorism, CFT, and obligations of regulated entities under Prevention of Money Laundering Act, in addition to ensuring compliance with relevant provisions under Foreign Exchange Management Act, FEMA, for overseas remittances. So basically, again, in my opinion, the most important section is right here. In the first paragraph, as such, in view of the order of the Honorable Supreme Court, that circular, referring back to the RBI circular, Reserve Bank of India from 2018, is no longer valid from the date of the Supreme Court judgment and therefore cannot be cited or quoted from. A lot of people are very rightly excited about this. You have Bitcoin Archive here. Bitcoin is not banned in India. That's confirmed, not speculated. This has been now confirmed by none other than India's central bank, the Reserve Bank of India. So that's pretty good. Bitcoin Archive here. Banks, as a bit of an editorial here, think about this, and I've always subscribed to this logic. Banks will block payments to Bitcoin exchanges. Mine has here in Canada. I'm quite frustrated with them. But they have no problem with online gambling, right? They have no problem with any other wildly speculative risks. But cryptocurrencies, that's where they draw the line because they're threatened, of course, by cryptocurrencies. So it is nice to see the Reserve Bank of India, the RBI, come around in this regard. Crypto unbanned, asks Changpeng Zhao, and he's quoting the same thing. This was posted here 24 hours ago by this individual, Nishal of WazirX, actually, which we talked about being a leader in terms of altcoins today in the top 100. You can read about it here further. India's central bank, the Reserve Bank of India, has resolved confusion. It says that orders against dealing with cryptocurrencies are no longer valid. And read all about that here. We're on cryptobriefing.com. The Indian central bank has clarified that crypto trading restrictions are no longer in effect. That's just another example of, in my opinion, of the media. And we're not going to get into political things. We're not going to get into health issues that are affecting us all over the world right now. I think you know what I mean. But there are many instances in that domain where the media has gotten it wrong over the course of these last 12 to 18 months. In fact, there are many narratives that the media has completely backtracked on. They've not only gotten it wrong, they've been like 180 degrees wrong. They've been on the polar opposite side of the truth. That's just one example. These examples also exist in the crypto space. This is just one. I mean, this really does irk me because, again, if you think about it, this was the narrative. This was a main component of the FUD that was ongoing for years, 2018, 2019, 2020, really up until today. We've still been hearing stories about China ban, India ban. Look, it's sensationalism, it's clickbait, ad revenue driven, just journalism, right? It's not necessarily the kind of stuff that you have to take at face value. I don't really feel that that's any kind of journalism exists in that capacity anymore. And I don't think this is going to be the sort of thing where it just comes out and automatically Bitcoin rises to $1 million. I think it's the sort of thing that the damage has to be undone a little bit more slowly, unfortunately. But a nice moment of vindication, certainly. It's nice to see. And if you're thinking about selling your Bitcoin, hey, never financial advice on this channel, but I'd like to bring up this precedent historically, again, courtesy of Bitcoin Archive. So missing out on Bitcoin kills your soul. Just hodl. Nick Allen here posting from back in 2011. Bitcoin down to $2.70 a pop. So glad I didn't buy on that mess. Responding recently. Is this guy still alive? Alive but dead inside. Don't be like Nick Allen. Look, things are glum right now. We're still, in terms of that fear and greed index, we're still in a moment of extreme fear. But that's, like as Michael Saylor says, volatility is vitality. That's the beauty of this space. Things turn around very quickly. So don't make all your decisions at the low point, whether it's in your investments or in your life. Realize that things turn around, and things turn around actually with a lot of speed. The agility and the speed, the rapidness, the rapidity, I think is the noun. The rapidity with which things happen in crypto is always a blessing when they do move to the upside. So don't be like Nick Allen. A couple of updates here from some of our favorite altcoins. Let's begin with THETA Network. As we saw, THETA up 15% on the day, maybe more, maybe less, depending on when you're watching. THETA Mainnet 3.0 and the launch of Elite Edge nodes and TFUEL staking are now 30 days away officially. In coming weeks, you'll see a new Edge node version released with updated EN user interface and TFUEL staking live June 30th. Again, I can't believe we're already the 1st of June. All of this is coming June 30th, so very soon. Internal testing is ongoing with over 100,000 TFUEL stakers running strong. THETA is one of these projects that took, in my opinion, a ridiculous hit when it bottomed out recently in this capitulation of the altcoin market that followed Bitcoin's low on May 19th. THETA Network, don't forget, was at about, it hit like $15 and a half. Yeah, all-time high, as you can see here, $15.72. Really did capitulate all the way down to just ridiculous levels, $5.19. Let's zoom in a little bit more for $5. Yeah, so in that low $5 range, which to me is just ridiculous. Chainlink is another example of a project that just dipped to absurd, like preposterous levels. Look, not financial advice, but I've said it before. If you have a favorite project in this space, if you have an altcoin in the form of a THETA or a Chainlink or others, and you feel that on their own merits, they're doing some incredible problem solving, they have great pragmatic use cases, they have very bright futures, and they're dragged down irrationally just because Bitcoin took a crash, why would you not buy up your favorite altcoin project then at a discount, Again, I got to give credit to Christopher Green for this analogy. It is not my own. I'm borrowing it from him. But let's say you're in the market for a high-end race car. You want to spend $200,000 on a Ferrari or a Lambo or whatever it is, some, like off-road vehicle, whatever it is, your dream car, your dream vehicle. Let's say one day there's a supply chain issue and they got to get rid of the model that you had your eye on, and it goes 50% off. So you were allocating $200,000 to your dream car, 50% off. It's now $100,000. Functionally, it's beautiful. It runs well. It's in perfectly good condition. Nothing is wrong with it, but it's 50% off. Would you not buy your dream car for 50% off? By that logic, if you have a favorite project out there, you should be picking up your favorites on the cheap. Again, whether it's THETA, whether it's Chainlink, whatever, but I don't see why people don't do that. I don't see why people don't embrace the sales in terms of their favorite altcoins. Again, not financial advice, but that is my point of view. Speaking of Chainlink, we want to discuss this update here, courtesy of Chainlink's official channel, at Chainlink on Twitter. Vent Finance will integrate Chainlink VRF, verifiable random function, to secure their decentralized allocation system. Chainlink VRF ensures that all users have a fair chance at getting whitelisted and participating in early projects launched in the Cardano ecosystem. You can read more about that on blog.ventfinance.com. So a lot of positivity in the market, as you can tell today, guys, even though we're still kind of flat, which is a little bit weird, to be honest. You think that this would kind of be a moment of vindication and whatever, but you know, sometimes there's always a lag between even the good news and the positive price performance of Bitcoin and other cryptos. With that being said, let's get into our $50 Ethereum giveaway. With yesterday's video here, we did talk about just candidly how yesterday was the worst month in Bitcoin's history in terms of months of May. So Bitcoin has now had 10 or 11 months of May with price metrics, and May 2021 was the worst of all of them, unfortunately. That being said, you know, it was my contention that we're way oversold. The RSI is looking ridiculous. So maybe a good buying opportunity. Again, not financial advice. So in order to participate in these giveaways, guys, or to be eligible, I should say, number one, subscribe to Altcoin Buzz News. Like sometimes the order is, you know, like I mix up the order, but these are the three criteria. Number one, subscribe to Altcoin Buzz News. Number two, like the video. So like the video that you're watching right now. And number three, comment with the letters ETH, ETH, or the word Ethereum. So subscribe, Altcoin Buzz News, like the video, and either write ETH or Ethereum in the comments. You guys are doing better with the likes, 186 likes here, as we can see. The comments, though, way too many. I mean, I'm happy that there are that many comments, 679 comments, but there should be more likes. So we ask that you do both. Like the video, comment as well. I'm going to go ahead and take the URL from this video, copy that. I try to do this live and in full transparency. Okay, we go to our random YouTube comment picker. And as long as this winner is not a previous winner and they meet the criteria, we'll be giving away another $50 worth of ETH. And the winner is Harrison Taylor, one of the best ETH. I don't know whether you're talking about the channel or the cryptocurrency, but kudos to you, Harrison Taylor. Congratulations, you are the winner. Harrison, please respond to this comment, your own comment on the screen. Respond to yourself with your same Harrison Taylor YouTube profile and respond with the Ethereum address to which you would like us to send you your prize. Congratulations, you're going to be getting that soon. It's just that easy, guys. You may as well throw your hat into the race. That wraps it up for today, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. Do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels. Keep checking back into our website. It is altcoinbuzz.io. Like, subscribe, share, hit the bell to receive notifications. If you enjoyed today's video, none of this is financial advice, but we do wish you the very best of luck if you choose to invest. Stay safe, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. As always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.